Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Thurns Hallman Scott Selections here for Thursday, January 26th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a nice winner in college basketball with Providence, minus 9.5 and minus 110 on DraftKings. Line closed at 10. Didn't really matter. Providence kind of coasted from start to finish, and they won the game by 21. So never in doubt, look for another winner here on Thursday. And for today's play of the day, going back to college basketball, we'll get a matchup in the Big Ten between Iowa and Michigan State, taking place at roughly 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this matchup, I'm going to take Michigan State here at home, minus 2.5 and minus 110 on BetMGM. Time recording of 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I'm going to go with the Spartans in this spot. First reason, Michigan State has been very solid at home this season, while Iowa has been a bit underwhelming on the road. Michigan State has won 8 of its first 10 home games with a 6-4 record ATS. Meanwhile, Iowa is 2-3 straight up on the road this season, and they're only 1-3 straight up on the road in conference play. To go through those performances, Nebraska is the second worst team in the conference according to conference record, as Nebraska is 3-7. Iowa still lost to them by 16 points on the road. They played Penn State on the road. Penn State 4-5 in conference play. Iowa lost that game by 4. They did beat Rutgers, very impressive win there, won that one by 11, but then played Ohio State in their last game. Ohio State is 3-6 in conference play, and Iowa lost by 16. So Iowa has not covered this number in 3 of its first 4 conference road games against 2 of the weakest 3 teams in the conference, with Ohio State and Nebraska winning by 16 points. So I don't exactly trust Iowa to look sharp in a hostile environment here on Thursday. Meanwhile, Michigan State, I mentioned before how they're really good at home. It is worth mentioning that they really excel on defense and with rebounding, and I think they should really be able to dominate in those 2 facets in this matchup. So Michigan State ranks 36th in defense efficiency according to KenPom. Iowa ranks 147th, and Michigan State ranks 53rd in rebounding rate. Iowa ranks 107th. So I do think that Michigan State should be able to use its physical brand of basketball to wear down Iowa over these 40 minutes. And I think with the home crowd behind it, Michigan State should eventually do enough to win this game by at least 3 points. But Iowa's numbers are a little bit inflated all around because of the pace that they play at. Michigan State plays a very slow pace, and I think that Iowa is going to be forced to play a lot slower because of the Spartans. And I think if Iowa's forced to play in the half court, they will look a little bit, I'd say, shaky offensively, playing at such a slow pace compared to what they're used to. And I think that should result in some droughts potentially for Iowa offensively. But to go through a trend here, since Michigan State, I mentioned, has been really good at home, there's something new because they've been very good at home for a long time, especially in the head-to-head matchups against Iowa. So to go through the matchups, since 2001, Michigan State has played against Iowa 17 times in the Breslin Center. In those 17 meetings, Michigan State is 15-2 straight up, and each of those 15 wins have been by at least 7 points. So Iowa has consistently been horrible traveling to the Breslin Center, and I expect that to be the case once again, since Iowa's looked quite vulnerable on the road up to this point. And to go through some trends here, Michigan State is 5-0 ATS in its last 5 home games, and Iowa is 1-6 ATS in its last 7 road games. But Michigan State, to go through their recent home results, they dominated Rutgers as they won that game by 13, lost to Purdue. I'll get back to that game in a second. Beat Michigan by 6, beat Nebraska by 18, beat Buffalo by 21. They've really been comfortable at home lately, and the one loss was against Purdue, who I'll remind everyone is the number 1 team in the country, and Michigan State actually led that game by 1 point with about 10 seconds to go before Edey hit the game-winning layup. So Michigan State almost upset the number 1 team in the country at home about a week or 2 ago, and they've been dominant at home and won comfortably in every other home game, basically. So I do think that you're going to end up seeing Michigan State probably end up in a bit of a war here. I don't think it's going to be easy for the entire game, but I think eventually Michigan State's going to break through with the crowd behind them, and I think that you'll see the Spartans win this game by at least 5 points. But until I see Iowa look comfortable on the road on a regular basis in conference play, I don't feel confident backing them when historically they've been atrocious in this building. Give Michigan State, and I expect them to win this game by at least, once again, 5 points or so. The play that once again here for Thursday, January 26th is going to be on Michigan State minus 2.5 and minus 110 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.